Did Tears of the Kingdom finally scratch the itch that Twilight Princess left behind? No, it did not. 17 years later, I'm still pretty itchy. I'll list some of the amazing things Tears did for me over Breath, even if Breath was mid. Whoa. Game of the Year Breath of the Wild mid? Yeah, it was mid. Okay, quick recap slash segue, I guess. I think Breath was an alright game, but not a good Zelda game. Breath of the Wild is to Zelda like what Star Fox Adventures is to Star Fox, which ironically, Adventures is like Zelda. Am I getting you? From the beginning of development, it was to break the current conventions of Zelda and bring back the OG experience of exploration of the NES Zelda days. But these conventions are now the Zelda standard, which makes me depressed as hell to think about. I am hopeful one day we'll have a Zelda renaissance and have another game like Ocarina, Majora's Wind, and Twilight. Chef's kiss. Mwah. I love those games. Perfect games, for the most part. Before I list the Tears of the Kingdom, attaboy, you did that right. Here's a little something to piss off a select group of people. For the people defending Nintendo and this game saying it's not DLC.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. So much so that it should be called DDLC, Deluxe Downloadable Content. And look, that's not a bad thing.
All right.
Unless you're Nintendo and you're, pretty money hungry.
It's like printing my own money.
You download the $70 deluxe lettuce cheese through the internet. It adds on to what Breath of the Wild already has. A bigger map above and below with some differences scattered throughout Hyrule. A new system of tools that help you out in the world and additional goodies that I said back in 2020 that Breath desperately needed. And that to me is DLC. Look, DLC by one definition I found online is additional content created for an already released video game distributed through the internet by the game's publisher. And with that definition, I kind of consider Majora's Mask DLC for Ocarina of Time, even if, you couldn't download it through the internet yet. They look similar in some fashion, and gameplay wise, you swinging a sword, you're blocking, and you even have the Z attack. Even if the artwork is a little different, but that's for a reason and a different video. The artwork should reflect the feel of the game, aka a darker theme, darker artwork. But do remember, these are just my opinions and you don't have to get so riled up. Number 1. What Breath lacked and improved in Tears was enemy variety. I said that enemies over time get dull and boring in Breath of the Wild. Sure, we get variants like hot, cold, or electric, colors to express difficulty, and item drops or undead versions, but they just felt like padding to fill the expansive world of Hyrule in Breath of the Wild. In Tears of the Kingdom, I've forgotten about the trailers for it and the new enemies they showcased. I was delightfully ecstatic every time I ran into an enemy that was not one of the Breath of the Wild variants. I walked into a cave and fought this odd looking fellow and I had no idea what I defeated until I dropped an item with its name and I was like, oh, that's fucking dope. Then I ran into another one and I was like, this one's not hurting me, do I kill it? So I did a quick Google search and yeah, they drop a material you have to collect. Anyways, point to Tears of the Kingdom. Number 2, what Breath had too much of and doubled in Tears was space. The double-edged sword that is space was ironically doubled and improved. Before, the majority of the gameplay was walking, whistle running, climbing, traveling through the shrines consistently. Maybe a horse, but I never really liked the way they felt. Oh, also the motorcycle, but that's for my next point. Very boring, not much going on unless you have the skills of a god or a butt ton of stamina. This time around, they give you more to do in this empty space and they double it. Caves, new enemies, environments, reinvented old areas, and new ways of getting around, reversing time, and building stuff. I actually am excited this time around to discover new things. I didn't know what made the last game so monotonous and empty to me, but this time, ironically, I get the feeling of adventure. 3. DLC. Look, I don't know what they have planned for DLC, but Breath of the Wild's DLC, no, not Tears of the Kingdom, ticked me off because they were making me buy story elements that should have been with the original game, like powering up the sword. Like, I gotta pay for that? Boo. So I hope they don't do that, or else it's gonna be DDLC. Damn that downloadable. Jeez, stupid. 4. Breath of the Wild's dungeons and bosses? Nuh-uh. Tears of the Kingdom's dungeons and bosses so far? Well, I haven't gotten to them. Based on the previews, it looks like they're going to absolutely hit the nail on the hammer. I was not so happy with the reintroduction of shrines this time around, but they do feel less like a jail cell and more homier, whatever the hell that means. We do need them for fast travel, and honest to God, they're just padding. It's like they took the puzzles from the dungeons and scattered them throughout Hyrule. I miss the days of dungeons having a ton of puzzles and personality, but we'll see. You know what I mean? It looks better. 5. Breath of the Wild's music was lacking, but Tears was. The lonely piano guy they hired to cut budget in Breath of the Wild was endearing, but more was needed for this massive game. I never thought I'd be the type to notice this, but I was wrong. I get that the decision was to make people one with the outdoors, one with the wild, if you will, but Zelda is a music-based game. I'm pretty sure that like 90% of the Zelda games have an instrument in the game that help you progress in it. There are some sick musical passages in Breath, but they're so brief that I forgot about this banger until my second playthrough. But this time in Tears of the Kingdom, one of the sounds is when you dive into a large body of water. Once you splash, you hear little raindrops afterwards, and I just that was needed. I don't know why, but I feel like that was so needed. Oh boy. Oh boy. It makes it better. The start button was nice. Oh god. This place is huge. Because if you're going to be pushing something a lot to look at the map, you might as well enjoy it, and it was a significant upgrade. The enemy encounter music is so much better. I hated the old one. Anyways, I'm about to edit this together. Hopefully I can get it out fast, but that's what my thoughts on the game are so far. The game looks promising, and I'm really happy over the changes. DDLC.